There are 346 Division I schools in the country, 346. This year, 2009-2010, the school year we just completed, 22 of those 346 schools sent both their men's and their women's basketball teams to the NCAA tournament. Temple was one of those 22 schools. And of those 22 schools out of 346, just 10 of them also had a football team play in a bowl game. Temple's first bowl game in 30 years, the Eagleback Bowl. So 10 of 346. Of those 10, only Temple is a non-BCS school, not one of the big 6 power conference schools, to have accomplished this feat. And of those 10 schools of 346, 6 of them, only 6, have sent both their men's and their women's basketball tournament teams to the NCAA tournament in each of the last 3 years. Our women having gone 7 years in a row, our men under Coach Dunphy the last 3. So 6 of 346, and of those 6, 4 of them, just 4, have had a football team go to a bowl game over that 3-year span. Those 4 schools: Texas, Texas A&M, Tennessee, and your Temple Owls. What that shows you is that the sun is shining on your university. It takes a long time, and for football fans, it took you 30 years. And 30 years of graduates of Temple University that did not have that experience as a student on North Broad Street. The sun is shining now, and because the athletic success means so much to the success of the university, we're proud of that. And we want to share those kinds of accomplishments. But it takes a lot of work for the sun to shine. And it takes even more work to keep the sun shining. It really takes the work of everybody in this room, but it also takes the work of a leader who understands the importance of academic success compared to athletic success, and engaging the community and keeping athletics properly aligned in the mission and the vision of the university. And at Temple, we're fortunate enough to have a 30-something year veteran of the athletic director's chair in our seat. Formerly the athletics director at LaSalle, formerly the athletics director at DePaul University, and concluding his 8th year at Temple University, Bill Bradshaw.
Thanks very much, Scott. One of the reasons Scott ran down those numbers is I forget how to do that. Going from the 346 down there, but that's exactly what happened. We're really proud of that. Thank all of you for coming out today and being with us. We're going to open up to questions later. So we're not going to go through the whole drill with you about what kind of a year we had. We're going to have Coach Dunphy come up and talk about basketball. But it was a very special year. And I'm just going to add to this some other special things that I think all you'll appreciate. For the first time ever in Temple history, we had 15 of our 22 teams have a 3.0 GPA in the classroom. How about that? For the first time ever, our teams together, all of them, football, basketball, everybody, averaged a 3.03 GPA for all of our teams at Temple, 3.03. The NCAA APR, which is the way the NCAA looks at us, for the first 7 years of the APR that they did it, we had 2 teams, 2 of our 22 teams had perfect scores in the APR. This past year, 09-10, 10 Temple teams with perfect scores just this year in 9-10. So I'm very proud of that, as I am of the bowls and how they did it. And I think for some of you, we talked over the years, and it's good to see old friends. And I said, when we do win, when we win, we're going to be able to stand up there and tell the world we did it the right way. We kept the rules, we got good kids in, we graduated them, and we did the right thing. And that's because of the great coaches that we have. Women's basketball, 7 straight NCAAs. We went to the 2nd round this year. And Tanya Cardoza, our head women's basketball coach, finished her 2nd year at Temple. She had been at a school called the University of Connecticut for 15 years previous to that. And on her one hand, she's got 5 national championship rings. And she thought so much at Temple, and Gino Oriyama, for the first time, that was his first coach he ever sent away from UConn. They never wanted to go. You know, they were winning national championships, getting paid a lot of money. And we've got Tanya Cardoza, his #1 assistant for 15 years now, a Temple women's basketball coach. We're proud of what the women do. They have a great schedule. They're coming to California next year, playing, I believe, Pepperdine and UCLA. Is that right? So we'll get that schedule, and maybe that could be an opportunity to get everybody together. They're going to be here in a 2-game swing, and we'll get everybody out there to watch Tanya. You'll love the way she coaches. She's got a nice team coming back. Hopefully we can win 1 or 2 when she comes to California. Football. Last year we started out slowly. We lost to that team from the main line. I can never remember the name. We lost to them, and you know, I'll tell you what, there's a special pain in my gut when we lose to them in anything. It could be women's tennis or anything, but when there's zeros on the clock and you're ahead and the ball is going towards the goalpost, it's a particularly pain that you get when there's no time left, the gun goes off, and then the ball goes through the goalpost. So that's our first game this year, Friday, September 3rd, 5 o'clock. You're going to be able to get it on ESPN 360. Then we lost to a very good team from State College, Pennsylvania, the second week. But in the second half, we played very competitively against them. So even though we were 0-2 last year, we left Penn State feeling that our team could compete. Then we started this freshman running back in the third game called Bernard Pierce. And then we won 9 in a row. What a coincidence. 9 in a row, one of the best freshman running backs in the country. He's going to be a Heisman candidate this year. He went down with a bad shoulder after the 9th win. We were playing Ohio U, didn't dress for the game, we lost that game. And then 3 weeks later we played the Eagle Bank Bowl against UCLA. We were beating UCLA 21-7. His shoulder went out again, they took him out of the game, and we lost that game. So it was no coincidence, but what a great year for Al Golden and the Temple Owls. 9 straight wins, a school record, 9-4, heading into this year. Friday, September 3rd this year, Villanova, 5 o'clock. As I said on the game, the next week, Central Michigan is going to be on ESPNU on that following Thursday. You'll be able to see that game. Our third week will be Connecticut, UConn at home, all 3 at home, and then we go to Penn State the next week. So you can see that there's a little bit of momentum, hopefully, for the schedule. Al Golden's done a wonderful job. The football team won the Community Service Award for all of Philadelphia last year. The Philadelphia Phillies were the team of the year. The Owls football team got the Community Service Award. And the Owls had the greatest improvement in the academic performance rate of any team in the history of that program in the last 9 years. So what Al Golden's done just been phenomenal. And hopefully we can win that bowl game if we're lucky enough to get there this year. So we're on television about 8 or 9 times this year. We can talk about that later. But we're very, very proud. And before football even was over, we had a basketball program that wasn't picked 5th or 6th in the Atlantic 10 last year, lost 3 starters from the team that had gone to the NCAA, and nobody really was paying attention until we beat Villanova on national TV, and all those students came out of the stands and mobbed the court, and suddenly there was a target on our back. And I can't remember all the statistics, but Coach Dunphy will, but we were 29-6, the 3rd most wins in the history of a great program, Temple University basketball. So what a special year that was, with 13 road wins, the most in the country. 13 wins on the road, wins against Villanova, a great schedule, and Coach Dunphy will talk more about it.